Thank you for joining us at Central Washington University's Running Start Frequently Asked Questions presentation. These are questions that are often asked when we do our in-person information sessions. If your question is not answered throughout the presentation, please do not hesitate to contact our office. I am Grace Pearsons. I advise current Running Start students. I actually did Running Start at Central when I was in high school, and it was a great experience for me, and I have stayed involved in the program. And I've worked here for a few years now, and it is a great opportunity for me to work with Running Start students because I really advocate for the program and really love the program. Angela Riviera is our Associate Director, and she also does advising with students. And so every single quarter, you will either meet with Angela or me to advise to take certain classes at Central. There are a lot of different opportunities and support available for students who attend the Central campus. If you want tutoring, you can get tutoring in math and English, which is really, really nice. You can bring in your homework. They can go over your homework with you. For English or any class where you have a paper, you can bring in your paper and they'll review your paper with you and help you edit it. There are also specific subjects that offer tutoring as well. So for chemistry and psychology, there's also tutoring for those as well. So that's specific to different departments. So you'll want to take a look to see if there's tutoring offered for the classes you're taking. You can also access the librarians. They're at the Brooks Library on campus. They are really helpful if you are looking for research when you're writing a paper. For a lot of classes on campus, you'll have to look up specific articles and things like that, and the librarians can help you to find that information. You can also access our office, and we are always here to help you. If we do not know how to answer your specific question, we may be able to connect you to the right office or person. If you have an IEP or 504 plan at your high school, you can create an account on Disability Services website and request accommodations. Their website is on this slide right here, so feel free to go on there if you are wanting to request accommodations. You will have to provide documentation. You can start with your IEP or your 504 plan. And so if you need any extra time on tests or anything like that, this is where you would go to request those accommodations. So each quarter, you will meet with your high school counselor to review your high school requirements and determine which classes you still need to graduate. It is really important that you're looking at your high school requirements because if you're taking classes that won't help you to graduate, then you may be delayed in graduation, and it's really important that you graduate on time. So you're going to meet with your high school counselor every single quarter, and they have equivalency guides for all of the high schools that are within the area so that you can look at the classes for your specific high school and what classes you can take here in order to satisfy that requirement. Then you can go online and view what classes are offered at Central for the quarter that you're wanting to take classes, and then you'll either meet with Angela or me to finalize that schedule and pick out those classes, and that is every single quarter. If you need to take math, you probably need to take a test to enroll in a math class at CWU. And so exceptions to this include taking the AP Calculus exam and earning a 3 or higher, or if you took a college and high school math class, but this will depend on the class that you took. If you took Math 101 in the high school, that is not a prerequisite for pre-calculus, so you would still have to take a test in order to get placed into that pre-calculus class. So it really depends on the class that you took at your high school. If you took pre-calculus 1, you'll probably be able to get into pre-calculus 2. But like I said, if you took Math 101, you wouldn't be able to go into calculus or anything like that. So if you are wanting to test into a higher math or just take any math class at Central, you can take the ALEX exam or the AccuPlacer Next Generation Math exam. And study guides for those are linked on our website. So if you want to kind of take a look at those and see which test you would rather take, you can look at the AccuPlacer Next Generation Math exam study guides. If you want to take English, unless you have previously taken English 101 through a college and high school program or have taken the AP Language and Composition exam and earned a 3 or higher, if you've done either of those two things, then you can be placed into a higher level English and you do not need to complete the placement exam. If you have not done either of those two things, you will need to submit test scores showing that you are eligible for English 101. And the tests that you can take in order to do that are the Smarter Balance exam, the CWU English Placement exam, the ACT, and the SAT, and these are specific for English. They will not work for math. If you are wanting to take a foreign language, unless you have previous experience with a language and are able to take a placement test that would allow you to enroll in a more advanced course, you need to start your foreign language in fall quarter. And so the classes for foreign language are taught over the course of the entire year. And so they start in fall and end in spring. And so if you miss fall quarter, it's going to be very, very hard to catch up because the only way to get into the other classes is to take a placement exam. And so most of the college classes for the foreign language they are expecting you to have 2 years or less in high school. So if you haven't taken any foreign language, that is totally fine. You can still take the foreign language here. And if you are taking maybe a year in Spanish or anything like that, you would just continue into the introductory course at Central. And then if you want to take a placement test for a foreign language, you can do that through Testing Services, which is linked on this page. So maybe you speak Spanish fluently and you are wanting to get into a higher level Spanish. If you test into Spanish for Heritage Speakers, then you can take that class and skip all of the other classes, but you have to be proficient in the language in order to test into a higher level. Running Start students can take any classes they meet the prerequisites for, including online classes. So say they've taken English 101 already and they really want to take English 102. They have already completed the English 101 course, which was the prerequisite, so then they can continue on to the other one, even if that class is taught online. And then please be aware that online classes fill up really quickly and not all classes are offered online. And so if you are wanting to take an online class, it's really important for you to come to your advising on time so that you can enroll on time, and picking out classes and backup classes for your classes in case the one that you want to take fills up. That way you have a backup class in order to enroll in if the class you were hoping for gets filled up before you can enroll. And then you may have to take an in-person class if the class you need is not available online or the online version is full. And so just keep that in mind if you're planning to do full-time online or anything like that, that there are some times when you're not going to be able to do that because the classes that you need are already full or you can't take them. And so just knowing that you may have to take an in-person class. And then please note that online classes do have additional fees. And so it's about $40 per online class, sometimes a little bit more than that. And so if you are taking full-time online, and that is $40 per class, and that's probably around 3 classes, that money adds up over time. So just knowing that those classes do have additional fees. And then if you are a senior, this is your senior year, you do not want to wait for your last quarter to complete your high school requirements, especially if you are planning to do online because the online classes fill up so quickly. And so make sure that all of your high school requirements are completed early so that you don't have to worry about getting that class done on your last quarter. And textbooks typically cost $20 to $200. The ones that cost a little bit more are usually for sciences and math classes, or even foreign language classes, because those are typically taught for the entire year. And so if you start a foreign language in the fall, you will probably use that same textbook for the entire year, and that's why they're a little bit more expensive. And it is typically a good idea to budget around $300 per quarter for textbooks. If you are full-time with Running Start, you'll most likely be taking 3 classes with us. And if your textbooks cost $100 per class, then it's probably going to be in that $300 range. If you're taking chemistry, calculus, and biology, it may be more expensive than that. If you're taking classes that don't have a lot of textbooks or their textbooks are cheap, it may be cheaper, but $300 is kind of a good starting point for budgeting. And then we do have a book loan program for students who are receiving free or reduced lunch at their high school, receiving public assistance, have a parent receiving unemployment, or who are a foster youth. Or if there's any other reason to why they couldn't purchase textbooks, they can come and talk to us. And they just fill out an application, and then we will see if you qualify for the program, and we can help you pay for textbooks. There are a few exceptions to textbooks we cannot purchase, but typically we can buy 2 or 3 of the textbooks that they need for the quarter. Students who do not qualify may want to consider renting or purchasing used textbooks, as they are typically a little bit cheaper. There are a lot of different extracurricular activities at CWU. Students can participate in theater productions. If they want to be in the dance company, they can perform in that if they're really good at dance. They can take classes through the Douglas Honors College, which is a really great opportunity. If they form a really great relationship with their professors, they may be asked to be a teaching assistant for the class. That is a great opportunity for resumes and college applications to see that they were a teaching assistant for a professor. They can participate in the ROTC program. They can be in clubs and other campus activities. There are a ton of clubs offered on campus. There's a lot of professional clubs like the pre-medicine club, the business club, the history club, and there's also fun clubs as well, like the anime club and the movie watching club, the board game club, things like that. So there's a lot of different opportunities for students to get involved on campus. And you can also work on campus. The nice thing about working on campus is they will work around your central class schedule. So if you're full-time with us on campus, you can apply for a job. If you get hired at that job, you will not be asked to work at the same time as your central classes, which is a really, really nice opportunity. As say if you worked at Fred Meyer or something like that, they may ask you to work at the time when you have class. That won't happen if you work on campus. You can also present at Source, which is a conference that we have every single year. And if you are doing research or anything like that, then you can go and present at that conference. Again, that is a really good thing for college applications as well as job applications. So high school students are not able to participate in competitive sports or sports clubs at CWU. However, you can take PE classes or sign up for intramural sports. So if you want to do intramurals, that'll be more like team sports, like basketball and volleyball, and the PE classes change every single quarter. And so you can be taking yoga classes, basketball, soccer. There was a circus arts class, and those are really fun classes. And they, like I said, they change every single quarter. So there is a lot of different opportunities for PE. You can use the recreation center, but you do have to pay for it. It is $117 per quarter. And so if you want to use it for the whole year, that will be over $300. And students who are under the age of 18 need their parents to sign a waiver. The gym is really nice. They have a rock wall, a pool, an indoor track, and a lot of equipment to use as well. So if you are interested in that, just be aware that you will have to pay for it. You also have to pay for parking if you plan to park on campus. It is $111 per quarter and $236 per year. If you know you are going to be taking classes with us for the entire year and you know you want to park, it is a little bit more cost effective to do the full year plan, especially since you can also park in the summer as well. And then just to talk about what kind of money you save by participating in this program. If you take up to 15 credits a quarter with Running Start, depending how many classes you're taking at the high school, you can save up to $2,757.46 for that single quarter. And so that's just for one quarter, you're saving close to $3,000. And if you take classes for every single quarter, so fall, winter, and spring, you save over $8,000 a year on tuition and fees. And so it's a really great opportunity to save a lot of money and get pretty much 2 years of college education for very, very little cost. And then Running Start students do really, really well at Central Washington University. Last fall, 45% of the Running Start students earned a 3.5 or higher, which is a very high GPA. The average total GPA for Running Start is a 3.3. 90% of students meet the academic standard of having a 2.0 or higher. So in order to be in good standing at the university, you have to have a GPA of a 2.0, and the vast majority of our students have a 3.3 or higher. On average, students take around 10 credits a quarter, and so they're doing really, really well in their classes in order to have that 3.5 GPA. If you need help for any reason, please come and talk to either me or Angela. We know a lot of the campus resources, and we know a lot of answers to a lot of questions as well. So if we can't answer your specific question, we will get you connected to the right person or department, but a lot of the times we can answer a lot of your questions here in our office. We are here to help you, and we want to make sure that you're being successful. And so if you need help for any reason, please do not hesitate to ask. Thank you for joining us for this short presentation. Like I said at the beginning, if you have any questions that were not answered in this presentation, please do not hesitate to call our office. Thank you so much, and I hope you have a great day.